who's afraid to call out LeBron. LeBron's a great player and a great guy. But this notion that he's got to have all the best players on his team. He's got Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love. He want everybody. He don't want to compete. He want to be the favorite all the time.
You know what's wild? The entire NBA had to shift just because of LeBron James. When he started building those super teams, Adam Silver had no choice but to rewrite the rulebook. The second apron literally exists because one man decided competing wasn't enough. He wanted control. He needed to make sure those rings were guaranteed. No risks, no surprises. And now everyone's acting like that's totally normal.
Why did Adam Silver have to put the second apron in? Because LeBron got all his guys together. KD wanted to go play with the Warriors. What? Wait, y'all don't want to win the championship and just compete against each other?
Please, comparing that to Charles Barkley joining an older Hakeem is ridiculous. Barkley wasn't forming a power alliance in his prime. He was chasing one last shot at glory. But when LeBron teamed up with two other top-tier stars in their prime down in Miami, that was a calculated takeover. Let me paint the picture. Charles Barkley, a man who never bites his tongue and doesn't play corporate games, made one mild comment about LeBron's super team era. And suddenly, the LeBron protection squad went DEFCON 1. The man spoke a little truth, and they treated it like treason against the king himself.
But we can give you no sympathy when you are LeBron James, the best player in the world, with all of those tools, top-heavy tools. We cannot have any sympathy. That's my understanding of it.
Remember what Chuck said? He called out how LeBron got everything he ever wanted, record-breaking payrolls, J.R. Smith on command, every trade request granted. Then, Chuck just asked one simple question. Does the so-called best player in the world really need all the best players around him? Doesn't he want to actually compete? That's it. That's the crime Barkley committed. And what happens next? Here comes Richard Jefferson swooping in to defend LeBron. Now Jefferson isn't dumb. He's sharp, which makes his response even worse. When smart people twist facts, it's not ignorance, it's manipulation. Are we really pretending that being drafted to a team is the same as scheming your own dream roster behind closed doors? Stop it. Let's clear this up once and for all. Charles Barkley in 1984 was a rookie. A rookie. He didn't choose Philly. Philly chose him. Meanwhile, LeBron in 2010 went on national TV for a full one-hour special called The Decision, just to tell the world he was leaving Cleveland to team up with two other top 15 players. That wasn't destiny. That was strategy. And wait till you hear this. Dr. J in 1985 was 35 years old. That's not primetime Dr. J with the flying afro dunking from the free throw line. That's veteran Dr. J. Still skilled, but clearly past his peak.
I just won the championship. He got a young Kyrie Irving and a terrific Kevin Love. And
yeah,
now,
but it takes more than that to win the championship.
They just won the championship. What do you mean it takes more?
Moses Malone, 30 years old and already past his MVP dominance from '83. Compare that to Dwayne Wade, 28 years old and fresh off an MVP caliber season. How is that even in the same universe? But Jefferson wasn't done lying. He dragged in the 1997 Rockets like they were some kind of powerhouse in their prime. Let's talk facts, not fan fiction. When Barkley joined Houston in '96, sure, Hakeem Olajuwon was still solid, but by the time Pippen arrived in '99, Hakeem was 36, Barkley was 35, and Pippen 33 with a wrecked back.
They have given him everything he wanted. They have the highest payroll in NBA history. He wanted J.R. Smith last summer. They paid him. He wanted Shumpert last summer. They bought in Kyle Korver. He's the best player in the world. Does he want all the good players? He don't want to compete?
That man had just gone through surgery and missed nearly half the season. You know what the average age of that so-called super team was? 35. You know what the average age of LeBron's Heat squad was? 26. That's not experience, that's domination in their prime. And then Jefferson really lost it. He said, and I quote, Pippen was in year 11, so he was in his prime. Wrong. By 1999, Pippen was in year 12, averaging just 14.5 points, his lowest since 1989. The man was recovering from back surgery, dealing with knee and ankle pain, and wasn't anywhere near peak form. That's your idea of prime? Be serious. Why can't these people just tell the truth?
I remember Charles Barkley got drafted to a team with Moses Malone, maybe Dr. J, and Maurice Cheek.
Every time someone questions LeBron's narrative, the spin machine goes crazy. And just when you think Jefferson can't twist it any further, he drags in the 2004 Lakers. The audacity is unreal. Karl Malone was 40 years old. Let me say that again for everyone defending this nonsense. 40. The man was deep in his 19th season, coming off a year where he didn't even make the All-Star team for the first time since 1988. With the Lakers, he averaged just 13.2 points, way down from his career, 25. But Richard Jefferson conveniently calls him the second all-time leading scorer, as if that erases the fact that Father Time doesn't lose to anyone.
The answer to the question everybody wants to know. LeBron, what's your decision?
In this fall, man, it's very tough. In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
Why?
Like I said before, I feel like it's going to give me the best opportunity to win and to win for multiple years. And not only just to win in the regular season or just to win 5 games in a row or 3 games in a row. I want to be able to win championships, and I feel like I can compete now.
And Gary Payton, he was 35, and his own franchise in Seattle had already decided he was done. They shipped him out mid-season for Ray Allen because they thought he was past his prime. The Sonics literally traded away their franchise legend because they believed his best days were behind him. And sure enough, he put up just 14.6 points with the Lakers, his lowest since year 2 in the league. But yeah, tell us more, Richard, about how that's exactly like 3 superstars under 30 teaming up in their prime.
I remember Charles Barkley going to Houston, and then he teamed up with Akeem Olajuwon, and then Scottie Pippen was also there. So it wasn't older. Olajuwon and Charles Barkley were at year 14.
And Kendrick Perkins, bro, you were on that Celtics team. How are you forgetting the facts? Kevin Garnett got traded to Boston on July 31st, 2007, in a massive deal involving 7 players. Ray Allen was traded a month earlier on June 28th in a deal with 5 players and draft picks.
We all had similar situations, and we've all had thoughts about either management or whatever, and we've always put forth the team and the respect that we have for each other to go out there and still do our job.
While it's his problem, can you help but take it personally with the commitment you made to come back?
No, I'm disappointed. I don't take it personally because I understand he's been put in a tough and difficult position. I think the disappointment comes that, if that was the case, it could have been done.
These weren't backroom deals over cocktails. This was Danny Ainge grinding the phones, making trades. That's how basketball's always worked. Not 3 guys plotting in private to take pay cuts and dominate the league. There's a massive difference between a GM building a roster through trades and a trio of superstars colluding to stack the deck.
The Celtics?
Before Bron made his move, KG, Paul, and Ray joined up.
One is competition, the other is control. And that's exactly what LeBron changed forever. Let's look at the numbers. The 2010 Miami Heat Big Three: LeBron James, 25, Dwyane Wade, 28, and Chris Bosh, 26, all in their prime. LeBron coming off an MVP, Wade fresh from a top 5 MVP finish, and Bosh averaging 24 points and nearly 11 rebounds. Combined age, 79, combined confidence, off the charts, and all 3 were all-stars that same season.
Go to Shaq and Kobe. Does everybody remember when they recruited Gary Payton, who was still in his prime, and then they recruited Karl Malone?
Now compare that to the 1999 Houston Rockets. Hakeem Olajuwon, 36 years old, averaging 18.9, his lowest in a decade. Barkley, 35, down to 16.1 points. Pippen, 33, only 14.5. Combined age, 104. Combined all-star appearances that season, 0. That's not a super team, that's a farewell tour. So what are we even doing here? Is this basketball analysis or creative writing? Because the fiction these LeBron defenders are pushing belongs on a bookshelf, not on ESPN panels. And here's what drives me insane. Every show, every podcast, every YouTube panel, it's the same formula. There's always that one guy whose full-time job is defending LeBron like his paycheck depends on it. It doesn't matter the topic. Trade deadline. LeBron needs more help. Draft night. This reminds me of LeBron. Random Tuesday in February. LeBron would never. It's like the entire sports media treats him like he's got dirt on everyone. And honestly, maybe he does, because how else do you explain grown men twisting themselves into pretzels to defend the indefensible? You can't even say LeBron's one of the greatest anymore. No. You must say he's the greatest, or you're automatically a hater. There's no middle ground. It's a cult at this point. When did basketball debates turn into loyalty pledges? And the irony? When Kevin Durant joined the Warriors in 2016, who cried the loudest? LeBron's camp. It's not competitive. It's ruining basketball. Excuse me? The same man who invented the modern super team complaining that someone followed his playbook? That's like the guy who made the atom bomb being mad someone else built one too. You opened that door, LeBron. You don't get to slam it shut now. At least the Warriors drafted Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. They built their foundation. Then they added KD on top of it. The Heat. They manufactured the Big Three through private talks and orchestrated free agency collusion. Yet somehow, KD became the villain while LeBron was the hero? Make it make sense. Look, nobody's saying LeBron James isn't great. The man's a basketball genius, top 5 all time, maybe even top 3. But what drives people crazy isn't his game. It's the revisionist history, the endless twisting of facts just to protect his image. Just own it. Say it out loud. LeBron did start the player empowerment era. He did change how championships are built. That's not hate, that's honesty. But don't insult our intelligence by acting like a 40-year-old Karl Malone is somehow equal to a 26-year-old Chris Bosh. Come on. Before LeBron's decision in 2010, the league had never seen 3 superstars in their prime conspiring to join forces like that. Never. Sure, older vets jumped on contenders, and GMs made blockbuster trades, but 3 top 15 players, all under 30, taking pay cuts just to guarantee titles. That was brand new. That move rewrote the entire rulebook. And the proof? It's literally in the rules. Adam Silver and the league panicked so much that they changed everything. The repeater tax was born out of those 2011 CBA meetings. The second apron exists because of what LeBron started. If it was normal, why did the NBA scramble to create new limits? Think about it. Then came the Supermax in 2017, the designated veteran extension, another desperate attempt to stop superstars from jumping ship. Those rules were direct responses to the decision. The league had to reinvent its contract system just to contain what LeBron unleashed. But somehow we're supposed to pretend that's just business as usual? Please, let's call things what they are. Charles Barkley getting drafted to Philly isn't the same as LeBron hosting a primetime TV special to announce his exit. A 36-year-old Hakeem Olajuwon isn't the same as a 28-year-old Dwayne Wade. A 40-year-old Karl Malone isn't even close to a 26-year-old Chris Bosh. And a general manager pulling off trades isn't the same as players secretly plotting in free agency. Those are facts. Not opinions, facts. So why does telling the truth about LeBron feel like breaking a law in NBA media? That's the saddest part. His real achievements are legendary, all on their own. 4 championships, 4 MVPs, and the all-time scoring record. That's greatness by any standard. But apparently, even that's not enough for his defenders. They have to rewrite history to make him untouchable. So next time someone tells you, LeBron just did what everyone else did, ask them one question. If it was so normal, why did it break the league? If everyone was already doing it, why did the NBA have to rewrite its rulebook? And if this was just another team up, why can't anyone name a single example of 3 prime superstars joining forces before 2010? Exactly. Crickets. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. See you in the next one.